Not about that life. Anyways, though, as we do move into this pistol round, compLexity going up against Renegades here on map 3. For those of you guys just tuning in, Renegades took map 1, which was Nuke. compLexity took map 2, which was Dust 2, and now we find ourselves on Mirage for the deciding map.
Okay, compLexity not going to take a page out of that CT side of pistol round on Dust 2. Nothing super hyper aggressive, though they are leaning to A. 4 players over by that ticket booth. So Renegade smokes to the stair side aren't that useful. Instead, they're taking a lot of damage. They're going to need some serious amount of flex tape to be able to piece this one together. Maybe Ye has a roll of it, but now it's going to have to be sick. If he can reach back and grab that one, it would be a miracle. Coming back through CT ticket booth himself. Maybe he doesn't even make it that far. He's now presence known. He's right back from where he started, right in CT spawn. Jacob gets that kill, and the Renegades off to the start. And that's something that Renegades struggled with on Dust 2 was their pistol rounds.
Yeah, compLexity essentially looked to end that round as soon as the execute began. With Renegades throwing those smokes towards the connector side, rushing out towards CT, compLexity had the option to fall back a little bit, set up beside that CT spawn area, and really create a crossfire for Renegades who were going to be forcing in towards that ticket booth. Instead, they chose to fight it out. They chose to go for their frags right off the bat, and Renegades are going to punish them for it, take control of that CT area, and by that time, well, there's not really much that the compLexity side can do. However, compLexity, after losing that round, will be forcing right back up here, Dallas, and looking to pick up this second round.
Yeah, though they are hedging their bets on the B side this time, though. And they're shifting around. They're a little bit shifty. It might end up shaping back into a 2-1-2 defense, which could help things out. Shazam's Deagle is that pivot player in the jungle right now. The Molotovs are there stopping the team from getting out of the palace side, but these smokes are allowing everybody up and in through A main real easy like. Stanislaw above, on top of ticket booth, working that smoke right now, able to finish off JKS. And now you've got yourself a 4v4, and look at the damage being dealt from the scouts. Smooya takes a lot of damage down to 15. Probably a scout and a couple pistol shots are in there as well. Good shot from Smooya, though. Without that head armor, compLexity aren't going to be able to do too much defense.
A lot of damage. Oh my goodness, those bullets.
Smooya backed off to that Tetris position. He's like, he dialed me in. I'm going to evacuate. There's no kit here, so compLexity don't really have any honest look at the retake.
No.
They're just looking to apply pressure and get some kills, because compLexity, if they were able to get kills and stay alive for the most part, they could think about another force buy. But instead, Renegades keeping 4 alive and hunting right now should be able to clean this one up. And it's all up to Shazam right now. Backside of CT, not gonna
just
happen.
Looks away, and that's when Azza is gonna peek him. Able to pick up that kill. Def is able to save his scout, but really Stanislaw, I thought he was going to be able to take down Smooya there. You saw him playing the edge of the smoke. He's able to pick up the first kill onto JKS. Smooya actually gets on top of that balcony, and Stanislaw has complete line of sight of him, just unable to connect on that kill. Smooya was even firing back, not connecting any of his shots either. So compLexity, a good opportunity within that round. Unfortunately, Stanislaw not able to take advantage of that one-way smoke he had.
There's Def. He's got the most firepower on the team right now, and he's been smoked off of this window. And he'll start to fall back. Can't defend it if you can't see it. So Renegades own everything at top mid. They'll even re-smoke this window. So Stanislaw still unable to peer out.
They're going to head up catwalk here.
If they're able to wrap into this B site, though, they're going to run into 3 defenders. Again, it's just some pistols, but those P250s, especially where Ye is at right now, could really hurt. He's got the first player rounding the corner. Aim punch, too strong for him. He is going to be laid down, and so will the remainder of his team. It looks like Shazam with a USP on the site. Oh, the scout got a kill, as well as Shazam with the USP to finish off some of the weaker targets and got a headshot in there. There's a lot of and that's what compLexity need to move on in this round, is to have a lot going in their favor. In fact, they're flanked in the market right now. Backside, Azza has Def. Dead to right, struggles with it a bit, finishes his job though, and Stanislaw is left for a couple exit frags if he can.
Maybe able to pick up one more in this situation, but I do imagine Renegades will have a good idea that he's either cat or coming through the lower B, so they're actually going to reposition themselves, have JKS watch those upper B tunnels. This should be a pretty cut and dry round here for the Renegade side.
Yep. So Stannis, again, he was just looking for exit frags. There's nothing to really gain here.
No.
So the bomb will detonate, and maybe he could recover a weapon at the end of the round if he's able to kind of min-max his HP here. But it looks like he's actually going to go ahead. He got the great shot on the first target. One-tapping JKS, and he needed to as well. JKS was wounded, but that headshot really just cements the grave. And it's compLexity now into their first buy.
Okay, looking at complexities by as well, we're going to see 4 AUGs on the field. Very powerful rifles here coming into play. Shazam's going to have that AWP lack of armor, though, on his back here. So complexity, yeah, they've got themselves in a good buy situation. Just a couple of things missing, like kits, for instance. Renegades, on the other hand, they've got plenty of money. Even if they do fall in this round, I imagine they will be forcing up yet again.
Def and Sick actually aggressively peeking A main right now. They squeak out. They got the first, but it is traded back doubly so, and the A site is suddenly wide open. And you still don't have kits to play with, as you mentioned. So complexity might be wise to not stand so close to this fight immediately so. Sure, if Renegades are going to hand you a kill right now, that'd be all fine and dandy. Yeah, I was thinking complexity just get out of this fight sooner rather than later, but they're still postured pretty close to this site, looking for a fight. Now as the smoke fades, there's nowhere for Ye to go. Yeah, he was in a committed position, crossing that jungle side over to the stairs or through connector to stairs. He couldn't leave if he wanted to.
Yeah, complexity essentially was looking to be gifted a couple kills there, just get into a position there where they might be able to find 1, maybe 2 to make that retake a real possibility for themselves. Unfortunately, though, as we do see Ye go down, that's going to prompt the save. Stanislaw and Shazam both hightail it out of there, looking towards next round to possibly find complexity's success.
So, complexity's success, if you're looking at some kind of firing solution for them to be able to get rounds on the board, they need, I think, a little bit of CT aggression here, because we had seen that shape out on Dust too. I know it's a different map, but
I think in the previous round they had some good CT aggression, right? They doubled up towards ramp. The unfortunate thing was it was 2 rifles that essentially pushed up towards the ramp, not that AWP of Shazam. Generally, you see the op hold that really tight angle because he's able to pick up that first frag, get behind the wall, and the rifle will get involved. Unfortunately, with 2 rifles there, both players had to essentially spray down, stay in the fight, and they both get taken down fairly easily. Ooh, look at Stanislaw now.
Well, here's this mid-aggression. Smooya fires off on the first one. Just Stanislaw's so blind, though. He's able to get 1. I think that even surprised Jacob how open he was in mid. So he'll be able to get that trade out, and Renegades again on the lead, at least when it comes to that trade rate. They've got 6 op right now. That's unarmored, of course. So Ye and Def with a couple pistols need to get things done by their lonesome, it looks like, as complexity scatter their defenses and hold these tighter angles, hoping that one of the Renegades player rounds the corner alone and be able to steal a rifle.
Def might be able to take down JKS towards these end of halls as JKS is starting to creep closer and closer towards the balcony, as well as Ye now aggress towards middle here. So really, only member on this A bomb site is going to be Def. Can he make this one happen?
Oh man, that
was close.
Def heard the smokes coming into the A site.
So he had to make a play.
He knew he had to advance forward. So his hand was forced on what information he had, and nobody was watching his A main side.
Oh,
sick over the bow, a warning shot to one of the Renegades who were looking to plant the bomb at the default position. It looks like it will be put down. You do have Ye that's on a flank up in Palace right now, and that's great, but you don't have any kits. So complexity are again in a spot where you got to think about saving. The thing is, though, the last time they let Renegades run away with a game like this, run away with an economy like this, there was no looking back for them.
Yeah, looking at Ye as well in this situation, he's not going to fire off, actually.
Smart.
So might be picking himself up another kill here as Smooya exits towards T-spawn. This could be an AWP that Ye, in fact, goes for. As
got 2 kills.
Yeah, 6 able to take down Azza, who made his way through T-spawn now, and it's a double op save here for complexity.
Oh, his first shot is a miss. He'll fall back into the second angle here, and Liaz and JKS can actually pair up for a quick 2 for no. JKS a little bit slow around the corner.
Nice shooting.
So, yes, excellently so. And so that's the picture I was starting to paint. If the Renegades were able to survive that round with 4 players alive, then their money starts to blow out of control, and complexity can't stop that onslaught. But getting all the guns out of the hand, all the armor out of the hand, all the utility out of the hands of Renegades, you've got yourself in a spot that you could chip away the Renegades.
Okay, and we are going to see a T-site timeout, actually, and it's kind of unorthodox considering Renegades are 5-0 right now, but maybe just calling that timeout to talk about the fact that there's 2 ops on the field and what they could be doing to them going into this round. Here was some great shooting from Smooya there as Stanislav, remember, he crept up middle, and he was in a very strong position there until that flashbang catches him and gives Smooya the opportunity. But as freeze time does come undone, I would look towards Renegades maybe to take a little bit of a faster strat now that they realize that there's 2 ops on the field, because they can smoke off sites very quickly, maybe even catwalk, maybe that B site, and once they take it, well, double ops, not going to have much success retaking a site.
Yeah, Renegades likely know that this is going to be a rifle round, so sure, I think this is an okay timeout. You're up 5-0, that's fine. Changing up your strategy is something that can happen at any point in time. And
there you
compLexity
go.
have to think about this. Fast play, straight into A main, right through it. Def holding an angle, he's just trying to spray and pre-fire this, and now he's getting fired back. Here comes the Molotov into his home. There's nowhere to hide at this point, but he got another headshot. Jacob down to 2 HP, and the defense is looking good right now. They don't need any more upfront presence, just to the legwork that Def was able to do right now. Now you can play a 4v4 retake, let the Renegades burn all that utility and make sure that they can't really stand on any 2 feet.
This is exactly what I was talking about here, how hard it would be for compLexity to actually retake the situation with the double ops. Thankfully, Jacob very low on HP, giving the opportunity for compLexity to actually find an easy kill and maybe progress this retake to success.
Yeah, and I was thinking this retake was going to look really good for compLexity just from that early frag. Jacob on the other side of the triple boxes right now has a first freebie against that and transfers to 2, 180 degrees. He still has players all around him right now. Shazam puts him out of his misery. 2v2. Time is becoming an issue for compLexity right now. They'll throw a beautiful smoke.
There's the save.
They're just going to wait for the diffuse noise if it even came, but compLexity had run out of time.
Yeah, Renegades, another great round out of them. Jacob, a great individual effort in that round, realizing he's on such low HP that if somebody does peek him, he's pretty much going to die there. So what does he do? He takes the round into his own hands, gets on the other end of that smoke, actually able to catch 2 of the compLexity players off, and this is what I'm talking about.
And he almost transfers to the 3rd.
Exactly, exactly.
I don't know if he ran out of ammo or not, but he just goes for the reload and ducks and covers. Shazam eventually gets him, but compLexity trip over themselves, or trip over him coming into that site, and just as they were looking to execute, I mean, they were right at the threshold of the site.
Yeah, Jacob throwing himself into that position there, I thought he was going to be taken down fairly easily, but he catches Stanislaw off, and that's what allows him to pick up that second kill, because Ye coming up behind that triple box, well, he was anticipating that if both my players are at jungle or at stairs, then I imagine the triple box in the bomb site is going to be clear. Unfortunately, it's not, as Jacob hitting some great shots to actually put Renegades onto their 6th.
So here's the deal. I mean, compLexity aren't winning rounds, but they are doing damage to the Renegades. It really, to me, it looks like if compLexity are able to win just 1 round, Renegades are in that spot of, okay, do we save this round or do we go for that force buy in the next one to try and stop compLexity? That decision might come on the aspect of how many compLexity players stay alive. So compLexity not only needs to win a round to deflate the ego of Renegades, they need to win it convincingly so the Renegades will bow out and compLexity can get a couple consecutive rounds under their belt.
Does look like A smokes will be coming out right now. Def is on the balcony towards this A palace area as he goes under the balcony as well here. We're going to see Renegades, 4 men towards the A ramp.
Smokes up and in. I think you got a player on the ladder in the confusion, but the bomb has been forfeit to the default position on the ground. 2 for 1 yard sale into the site right now, and right now Renegades are on the back end of that trade. They know exactly where Shazam's at, and they will start to burn him out, but he survives at 1 HP, and it doesn't matter for him. He's holding on to the big green gun. Smooya, beautiful peek right there against Sick at the firebox spot, but you're going from a 2v4 into a 2v3 right now. Smooya to plant this bomb, bravely so. Even the angle from JKS wasn't watching towards the CT ticket booth, so they gambled that one, and now it's 3 men standing alongside each other at the top end. What a flashbang from JKS. Smooya swings out for that frag, and it delays a little bit longer.
All right, and here we go with the final 2 members. Ye moving on into the bomb site. That AWP Smooya able to take him down, and Shazam as well. Renegades on to 7. Another round that looked like compLexity was going to be in it.
Yeah, I mean,
Renegades snatch it right from them, Dallas.
2v4. And you have a $300 little flashbang. I mean, it's not much, but it's enough. I mean, Smooya swings out from that one and pops off the shot, and suddenly
that's exactly what they needed.
It's a difference maker.
In that situation, they were pinned. Their positions were essentially known. They knew that one player was towards Tetris, maybe one player made it into sight, and they were already in that position where if compLexity are going to retake, they're most likely going to have the advantage moving into the site. So a great pop flash comes out, Smooya gets aggressive off of it, finds himself the first kill, and as soon as he evens it up into a 2-on-2, he doesn't push the issue anymore. He tucks himself into Sandwich, gets another frag as Ye comes over his head, doesn't actually clear Sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, he lands down there and just snuggles up next to him.
exactly. And that was such an easy kill for Smoothie to pick up. Very unfortunate round for complexity. It kind of feels like everything's kind of falling apart right now.
It was 2v4, and the difference maker was just the cheap 200 flashbang. So it's just, that's all it takes, a well-timed flash. He even almost threaded 2 players on a 2-for-1 shot, but, you know, still got her done. Renegades, a 7-0 start, and this is where sometimes the ship starts to get a little bit out of control. But really, what is it? Is it the 8-1 or the 7-1 where the CT side after a streak ends? Is it 7-1? So this should be the round, but they'd have to do it with Deagle's Famas Scout. Oh my.
Shazam on the edge of this smoke here. Jacob doesn't see any of this, however. It will be JKS moving above the catwalk, and it does look like Renegades will be favoring a little bit of a cat split here to develop the round.
Yeah, and you've got mid-control. complexity don't want to fight this one up front. They will back off. A long, long flank is coming from Def, and it might develop sooner rather than later. Renegades are taking their time coming down mid, turn the corner on catwalk as well. And your front line needs to hang on, just so that Def can make work of this. So Liaz will take the first cut into Stanislaw. Ye's got the next. This is going to delay. This is going to allow the flank in. Jacob picks up that next one. Where you at, Def? He needs to get here right now. He's walking his way
Almost
in.
there.
Sick gets that next shot, and you've actually got the T's into a pretty awkward position. They're throwing the bomb to one another into the site. They have no idea that Def's up here. He stops. Oh, he does stop the bomb planter. They spot him instantly. Great call from Jacob right there to say he's above you. Because, I mean, he didn't make a noise. He was just crawling his way through the apartments.
There was just such a lull in the round at that point. As soon as Smooya picks up that kill onto Sick, at that point they realized that, okay, nobody else was market. You can just turn, watch the flank, protect the bomber in that situation. But really it was on Jakin to open up that bomb site that really allowed that to take place. Some great shooting out of him, and Renegades are going to keep this train rolling, Dallas.
Yeah, yikes. Yeah, Shazam, he's in the same spot he was in before, and it looks like the complexity are going to continue what has worked in the past on Dust 2, which is mid-aggression. And Liaz in from behind, underneath quickly. He's got 2, and Jacob got a kill up there as well into top mid. So complexity are laid flat. Just a casual jumping shot to the face of JKS. Nice shot from Ye, but he is 1v3 now from his 1v4, and his position's known. So the A site would have been planted shortly anyways. Complexity going fast and loose.
It's very disappointing out of the complexity side. I really thought that moving on to this final map, they were going to have that life after taking the map 2 victory. They were going to have a little bit more cohesion, a little bit more confidence in their peaks. But as it looks to me right now, Renegades are just a dominant force throughout this middle area. Even when they're moving towards that A bomb site, even if they find themselves down in disadvantaged situations, Dallas, they're fighting their way out of it. Complexity not able to find any success in any type of portion of the round, whether it be the start with the early frags, the mid round to even it up, or even the end round to close it out.
I mean, this is magical from Renegades right now. It's looking pretty. It's looking a lot like Nuke was to start things off.
Yeah,
where it was,
exactly.
It was complexity closing out the first half of that first half of Nuke, the first map, and they needed to win the pistol round. It applies so much pressure, but that is something that is going at least to the favor of complexity.
Yeah.
They've won the majority of the pistol rounds so far that have played out in the first 2 maps, and the first half of this one, though, we went to the Renegades, and suddenly they just don't have any momentum.
Yeah, if you're Renegades even in this situation now where you find yourselves up 9-0, you can essentially tell your teammates to, hey, go a little bit more passive. I think they're going to be looking towards making plays to actually let the rounds happen for them. And this is it again, complexity, making a play towards the apartments very quickly here, as we're going to see Def aggress his way almost towards the T side of Halls. And Renegades are going to be holding very patiently as we move Jacob up towards that chair area, towards that catwalk fight. And we're going to see members moving back towards A ramp for the execute. Look at Def right now.
Yeah, he's going to settle in right here. I wouldn't want him to peek any further than this, but he does go for the peek. And he does minor damage to Azur. That is unfortunate. That's going to cue the execute in through A main. They know they've got a palace problem right now, so they're actually going to throw some utility up into that direction. Liaz double takes towards Sick, looks for the kill, but JKS actually gets it before he does. So they know they still have a palace problem. They'll go for a triple box plant while they have rifles supporting that angle, making sure that that is not stopped. 1 AK has been recovered. There is a saving grace from Ye right now, and you have some Deagles in play as well.
Oh, Stanislaw on a great flank, but Azza with some great awareness, does take him down, and we have another flank developing as Liaz moves in through window, but it's only on Shazam to make this happen, and JKS will be taking him down 10-0 for Renegades here on map 3, Dallas.
Yeah, that's getting to be a bit of a yikes moment for compLexity. They need to close out this half, and it's looking a lot like Nuke in the sense that they don't have a solution. When they were on their T-side Nuke to start off that half, they were really a one-trick pony. ramp, sorry, ramp over and over again. compLexity on their CT side here try and replicate the success they had on Dust 2 by playing aggressive mid, aggressive CT side, and right now the Renegades have every solution to stop that.
We are going to see some more aggression coming up from Shazam towards middle, but that flashbang is going to force him out. No kills exchanged, so Shazam is able to reset it within the round here, get something going. As Ye aggresses towards this upper B tunnels, he will find himself a kill onto Liaz, and a second onto JKS.
Excellent. Well played. There it is. Finally, the Renegades decide to go towards the B site in a straightforward manner. We've seen them go down mid, turn the corner, and try and come through catwalk, and they've got success there. This time through the apartments, the really first time they've gone to the apartment side. They have to lick their wounds. Smooya, he gets caught. Ye on the boost on the short side of that, and he is down and out. So compLexity really showing that they have some hope left in them as Jacob's left in a 1v5. Position known. Everybody's going to start to rotate in to try and pick up this kill. Best Jacob could do here is pick up 1 or 2 kills, and he's unable to do any of that.
All right, compLexity building a little bit of economy now in their back pockets is off of that round win, keeping 5 people alive. That's exactly what they wanted, Dallas. That was some great shooting from Ye, some great aggression towards the upper B tunnels. Yeah, it hasn't been working for them throughout this half, but it does pay off in dividends for Ye there with that AWP. Some great shooting out of him.
Yep, so that op presence stops them all in the apartments. I doubt the Renegades will make that B apartments press again. That was so good from compLexity that really I don't think Renegades will try that strategy again. They're just going to go back to the bread and butter, take this mid control, take the A control, take the A site. So now they push in the mid with 3 players, and they've got Stanislaw, who was in the apartments on the B side, falling out of that position.
Okay, Renegades have actually made their way completely towards the top of this as Jacob does take down Ye on the catwalk. This is going to create even more pressure on that A bomb site. Thankfully, compLexity have aggressed death once more towards the end of this T side of Palace, while keeping 2 more members within this A bomb site as well.
Shazam was up there as well towards the Palace side, just with that. So they had 2 players at the Palace end, but they fall back Shazam, and they will collect their...
What a great call.
Yeah, well, they're going to try and do this B site again. Last time it was Ye that did so well over here, but now that he's on the KIA list, Stanislaw is left alone, and right now he's at Van. He might even hear this. He's going to throw a flashbang well-timed just as the Renegades start marching their way in, but his jump peaks so far haven't seen anything.
Oh, there it is.
Now he's going to sound the alarm. He needs some help right now, and he's just wisely going to back off to a more defendable position. Force the Renegades to fight for every yard on that site. It is traded 1 for 1 elsewhere. That was actually Azza that had come in towards the rat hole trying to sneak in a flank on that B site. Now you're in a tough spot for compLexity.
I don't think compLexity really have any feet to retake this round. The good thing is, Renegades don't have a lot of utility, so after that nade comes out, it's really on Smooya's flashbang, so compLexity won't be held at bay if they do want to go for this, but I imagine with the lack of really pressure within that site, saving's their best option.
It's a safe option, but at this point of the game, when it's 10-1, about to be 11-1, I mean, you can't... You almost have to go for some retakes and go for these crazy clutches. So they lost 1 towards the closure of that round, and I doubt that they'll lose another. So you're able to keep an AWP and an AUG into the next as Renegades continue to pile it on.
Alrighty. 11-1 is our scoreline as we're moving towards the end of this first half. Renegades really showing no signs of stopping and even giving compLexity a chance to come into it. Just as quickly as we saw compLexity win 2 rounds ago, Renegades have just won this previous round, put themselves back in the driver's seat, and compLexity now finding themselves in economic woes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're in a real tough spot. So holding on to an AWP and an AUG gives them a bye in this round, but if they lose this round outright, They've really got Def at $5,000, and I would actually expect him, it'd be a full save from the team, and then Def would be able to buy the op for Shazam in the last round.
It might even be a little bit of a force buy. I could see Def dropping some weapons. It all depends on whether or not they're able to save going into this round. But to begin, Stanislaw is going to take down Jacob. Azur trading it out right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, Stanislaw is, in this map has really been leading the team from the bench, from the casualty line. For the most part. He's been the first casualty of war in his mid-aggression one way or another. Previously, we've seen him go up mid. This time he goes up on top of the scaffolding. Is able to trade out 1-for-1, but the Renegades are happy with that right now.
Okay, Renegades now moving very quickly towards this connector here. As we do have a lull in the round, we will see a little bit of a contact here with Def and JKS towards ramp. This is going to be huge. JKS able to take him down now. The rest of the Renegades members moving up towards connector and trying to get something going.
Oh, Ye just spots Liaz's calves as he goes in, but a collateral from Sick. Headshots aplenty. Man advantage earned from that by compLexity, and now Smooya has pinched between a couple players. He misses his shot, and Ye will peel him off. It's JKS left alone, and Shazam's posted up at the top of the stairs. What a beautiful little collateral that played out right there from Sick. That was a do or die.
Yeah, that was a great call from Ye, calling that they're up connector, letting them know that they're moving in towards the site. Sick peeking off of Ye's initial call. That's what I imagined that Ye called, that, hey, they're up connector, they're moving into site. Sick makes a little bit of a play by that triple box, able to get the 2K out of it. We're going to see Smooya actually miss a couple shots there towards that window area, but Renegades now falling in that round. compLexity are going to find themselves a second, but they're still going to need these next 2 rounds, Dallas, if they want to have a chance moving into the second half.
So like a flavor of what happened in Dust 2, it was like the compLexity woke up. You know, they put a good string of rounds together. This is much later than what had happened in Dust 2, but if they can continue the momentum and share that momentum into the second half, that'd be beautiful. But again, things reset when you go into the second half and you're back down to pistols. Renegades showing a little bit more promise on their rifles than compLexity, but compLexity having a little bit more prowess on their pistols, then I don't know, man. It's still a long road for compLexity, but if they can just win this round, they can at least have a little pinprick of light that would be hope in the second half.
Ooh, a little bit of an aggressive smoke towards the middle here from the compLexity side, but it will be Liaz taking down Shazam as Ye does trade it out onto Jacob to actually make this a 4-on-4. We will see the window boost go down as well. Azza in a great spot here. Let's see what he's able to do.
Well, this didn't work last time. Last time they had Azza in through this little hole, he got picked off, but it was still a successful take into the B site regardless. Instead, this time he settles in, happy to control window room right now. Playing for a pick now are the Renegades. They're in a spot to be able to catch compLexity off guard. When you have a window like that, you expect somebody to be pushing in through that. That would be Ye that's posted up. He's actually defensive at this point. So compLexity wise to the aspect that they'd given up some control and know that that territory has now been forfeit. And knowing where that smoke came from, they know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, this is a great hold from compLexity, though. Unless Sick gets taken down here, there's real opportunity for compLexity to come out on top in this round.
Liaz close, gets a flash in, cannot convert on the 2 players that are there. Now Def holds mouse 1 and gets a frag while flashed. 1v4 for Smooya. Not a chance in the world. Stanislaw has him from behind, and that is going to be the end of that. compLexity do end up winning 3 of the last 4 rounds that were played out, so they do have momentum.
Yeah, Def behind that triple box, just on the other side, a little bit closer towards the CT spawn, really the last position that Renegades was anticipating anybody to be at, especially because there was a reinforcement by that ticket booth as they were trying to take that portion of the map. At the same time, Sick got himself positioned behind Tetris box and really created just an unorthodox crossfire there for the compLexity side. They're able to hold that very easily.
And he smoked A main, so he's at least a little bit comfortable.
Exactly.
Holding that Tetris spot. Atypical. A site looks to be on the menu for the Renegades. It has been a big problem for them in the past few rounds to be able to strike into this site. compLexity do seem that they have got the skeleton key to be able to dissolve these attacks. Smooya, though, does open up with the first kill. No trade this time, though. That's where compLexity have usually had these 1-for-1 trades to start these rounds off.
Okay, compLexity actually going to be flashing off towards that A connector. They're going to pick up 1 kill on JKS through the smoke here. I thought that it was going to be Renegades getting aggressive, but it's really only Jacob, and he will fall as that smoke fades. Stanislav picking a very easy kill.
Oh, wow. Smooya gets the kill against Ye. That's one of the oppers that has been deflated from the round. It's still a man advantage and still no bomb plant. So one player from the Renegades is going to be disarmed, and it's wise to fight first and then think about the plant. But the bomb's been dropped. Shazam with the last 2 kills, and compLexity come alive so late. But is it better late than never?
Definitely better late than never.
Yeah.
Getting the 4 rounds on their CT side of Mirage, yeah, it isn't great. You're not going to be Excelsior, high-fiving each other after that, but it's enough to work with. It's enough for compLexity if they do take this pistol round, they do take the first gun round, to get themselves back into the game.
Yeah, so that first half favored heavily towards the Renegades, but we've got a second half coming your way. This is map 3. This is do or die right now between compLexity and Renegades on this first day of this second chance group stage.
Yeah.
Let's take it out. Let's come right back shortly. Hey, ladies and gents, welcome back to the third map, second half of compLexity versus Renegades in this best of 3. And as you can see now, the story on Dust 2 was with the oppers. This time, the only op that's standing up tall is Smooya, 15-7 right now, as opposed to Shazam's 7-10. But we switched sides, and compLexity had closed out that first half with a command. 4 of the last 5 rounds that were played, looking to continue that aggression forward. Very fast play into the A site. Liaz and Smooya are left alone. Good precision from Liaz, but he's got an extra 9mm between his ears, and Smooya is the last man standing. compLexity have been pretty reliant on winning a lot of these pistols that have played out between these two teams so far.
Yeah, this is exactly the start complexity needed there with a very fast A off some great shooting from Shazam. Complexity able to completely dominate that A bomb site, get themselves this pistol round, and move closer towards tying this game up. Renegades, on the other hand, well, after falling in that round, will be picking up some CZs, some armor, looking at a force buy to keep themselves really in the driver's seat of the second half.
I think Renegades are currently batting 33% on these force buy second rounds. We've seen them lay down once, they've seen them win one, and we've seen them lose one as well. So this second round is going to play out to a little bit of resistance from the Renegades. Nice shot. Ye gets up on top of the scaffolding, catches Azza, and now the B site is on the books. The bomb's still at top mid. It looks like it's going to take the safer route through the halls instead of coming through mid. It misses that bus of Ye and Shazam. It would already secured Catwalk.
Really, only the solo member within that A bomb or B bomb site, Liaz, is going to be taken down by Def, and the remaining Renegades members, I do imagine, will be going for a save just to save this armor. It's not a bad idea. They don't need to force the issue right now, Dallas. They can keep this armor. They can keep their pistols, bring it into next round, and see what success they have with it there. Yeah,
that'd be nice. Right now, we see Jacob that's sitting here at CT spawn. If compLexity were to overrun his position, this is a one and done. Unless you are hopeful to just hit the second and third spam shots right through. But it looks like compLexity is just going to back off the way that they came in and take a round-trip flight out of the B site and secure that one. So compLexity are coming alive, man. It's a little bit later than it was on Dust 2, but better late than never, as you had said before.
All right. Renegades now will find themselves losing 2 in a row here. I mean, compLexity essentially have won 5 rounds if we're counting the end of that first half now, so starting to build a little bit of momentum. You got to imagine that's helping out their confidence as well. Renegades now on a full eco, giving the opportunity for compLexity to start padding their wallets a little bit, get some money under their belts as we move towards the middle part of this second half.
compLexity does forfeit the most of the ability from the MAC-10 that's here. Sure, there are some unarmored targets, but there's Jacob and JKS that both have head armor, so there's a little bit of a lackluster purchase right now in Def. He's just holding on to this MAC-10 from the previous round. He had already gotten a kill or two with it before. So one of those armored targets is now down and out. Things are looking up for compLexity's side as well. Want to minimize your losses here because you got a long road ahead of you to be able to draw this game back broadside at 11-all.
All right, it does look like the compLexity side will just be holding in towards this middle area, not looking for too much pressure. They've already found themselves a kill onto Jacob, and they're going to move towards B tunnels now for the next portion of this round, where 4 members of Renegades are patiently waiting.
Yeah, B site's usually not somewhere you want to go if you know that you have a weapons advantage against your opponents. Tighter angles, a lot more hidey holes.
compLexity's actually cleared out A now, so we'll see the audible get called. We'll see the bomb recovered. Should be a clean round, but we do have Def looking to farm up a little bit of cash on that MAC-10 of his.
He knows it's a target-rich environment.
Yeah, he knows they're all waiting.
With that A site being cleared out, it could be anywhere. But he knows they're out in front of him. And I'm really surprised that compLexity are actually lurking enough that their backside market. I would like to see Ye just stand still right here and don't push ahead any further. Just patch him in, close him in to that B site, and let the round in. The kills are almost not worth it at all.
We'll probably see them start hunting as the bomb goes down. They obviously didn't want to get into a situation where they lose 2 members, let's say, right off the bat, turn it into a 3-on-3, and now all of a sudden Renegades can retake.
Yeah.
But as the bomb gets planted, as the bomb starts taken away, we'll probably see Def start to overextend into that B bomb site in hopes of getting some cash.
Yeah, Def is the only one I want to see come into this site, because the AKs, if you're getting kills with those AKs, you're extending more than you necessarily need to get there. They have pistols. They don't have anything that's worth a trade. Even the kill that you get from it's not worth it.
And there
you go. You lost one of the rifles. You lost the MAC-10 up there too. Who cares about the MAC-10? But you've just Smooya, long arm of the law. Turns the corner. Looks like he does. Actually, Liaz has the AK. Smooya's able to throw it over towards him.
Oh,
you get a kill. Yeah. So see, look how expensive that was, and that was just against a couple pistols. You know, it's not worth the trade. Maybe compLexity's thinking 4 players are saving. It may have been a force buy stack to the B site. Let's take that armor out.
Yeah, let's see what happens if we can take down the armor. Maybe get some, then again, get some kills on the board, get some confidence going yet again. But it is going to backfire for them as Renegades find themselves recovering 2 AKs in that round now. Moving into this buy round for themselves here. I mean, are they able to make it happen?
Yep, that high risk, high reward, or high risk, low reward from compLexity ends up favoring Renegades. So weapons are retrieved, and they will use them against their opponents. Is really standard defense from compLexity or from Renegades right now. 2-1-2. Uh-oh, Jacob's been spotted. Ye as well. He's actually got that intel where Jacob is and sees that nobody's in the jungle. So he just swings out into the site. And nobody was responsible for that topside palace. Good on him for recognizing that and picking up a free kill.
Yeah, Renegades really wasn't anticipating that extension from Ye so early into the round there, but Ye takes complete advantage of it. Like you said, saw that there was nobody jungle, knew that there was someone spawn. He's going to just go ahead and wide swing out and pick up a nice kill onto JKS.
And Jacob has support here. You can see the boost. Jacob's in the connector. Smooya's watching the close angle, so he'll be able to give an early warning. Gets the shot. That one a little bit below the belt, but Smooya is a little bit better for wear against Shazam. Now the swing out into the connector as well. And suddenly the Renegades have taken the man advantage. Oh, this is going to be pretty. Can he go for two? He's got the intel on one. Oh, but Shazam's actually run across. He's run into market, so he's lost the opportunity there, but he's stuck in behind the lines.
Catwalk.
He's in behind the lines. This is going to get really interesting of how he can manage to pull. They've actually evacuated Smooya off of the site entirely. Suddenly, Stanislaus here. Leah stands up, knows now with the information that there's Stanislaus somewhere amongst the B site, but the bomb's been dropped in the upper side of those B halls, so he's got a ways to go with 16 seconds to save this one. Looks like Renegades will be able to put this round on the board cleanly, so Stanislaus, fighting as he might, is not going to get an extra frag.
That round for Stanislav, I felt so bad for him. He gets the perfect lurk off, okay? While he's doing the perfect lurk, we see Shazam jump out of the site. He's going to head towards market. While Stanislav is still trying to clear, Liaz tucks himself on the other side of Van, essentially disappearing from Stanislav's line of sight. At the same time that Liaz does that, Azza pushes up on the left side of that catwalk, cuts himself off from Stanislav's sight once again. He walked into that site and you saw it on Stanislav's character screen. Where are they? I don't see anybody here.
He had them right where he wanted them, but just two more steps forward and he couldn't see any more of them. So that's a tough spot, a tough look. As Renegades put up their first CT side round. Utility in mid, both teams flexing into this direction, and it looks like Sick has got himself up into the connector, top side of this one to boot as well. Just on the other side of the smokes, on the now jungle side, Jacob was at the stairs. He'll fall back from this spot, and compLexity were able to flex a little bit better in mid. Renegades back off.
What's the play here for Renegades now? They're finding themselves giving up middle, giving up top of connector here. We see the double up towards the A bomb site as JKS playing under the balcony as well as Smooya opping from the back of ticket booth. But they've given a lot of room for compLexity now to split onto that A bomb site.
Jacob, his mid presence is now backed off to defending against the window boost.
Exactly.
So with him sitting there, the A site not looking too hot. Nice shot from Smooya. Ye just creeps his way up there and crouches his way into the crosshairs of Smooya. So there's the first kill, and you got to think now, with a player that pushes through that angle, you're going to expect some kind of A hit. JKS from underneath Palace catches Sick with a grenade in hand. He was trying to throw that Molotov while still hiding in shallow. Shazam's crawled his way up on top of the Palace side of things, but Smooya dials his shot in as well. How many compLexity players just got caught off right there with either grenades in hands or unable to defend their angles?
That was a really bold decision from Smooya there. Remember, nobody was actually watching his Palace. You had JKS under balcony. You had one player, and I do believe Jacob, who backed off of window, but I don't think he was actually looking towards the Palace area and protecting. I think he was just watching for a window boost. So in that situation, Smooya gets on ticket booth and actually looks off towards the edge of that smoke and is able to pick up the first frag. That was a tremendous kill from Smooya in that situation.
All right, Renegades coming up now. Getting 2 rounds in a row have put compLexity down into the dumpster for economy. So compLexity don't have too much room to work with either. So if you would expect compLexity to give this round to the Renegades with just an eco round for themselves, they have 3 smokes right now, probably just a Hail Mary bomb plant.
Yeah.
If they can, 3 smokes probably going to be, I would expect some kind of A wall smoke and then plant in the smoke somewhere, but that's not quite enough. It looks like they've already thrown the first one towards top mid. Ye and Six still have their smokes, which is setting up for an A hit, but those aren't going to be planting the smokes, are they?
I think they're going to go ahead and throw the right side smokes and then go ahead and try and get Def and Sick Stanislav boosted up into window, maybe even go for a little bit of a cat.
Smooya's going to get blindsided here.
There you go.
Nice shot from Stanislaw. That must have not been a head armor from Smooya. He got one piece. The first shot missed, actually. And the AWP is recovered by Stanislaw, and I think he actually had a team damage. Azza just caught a shot to the face from Jacob. So this is starting to be a couple miscues from the Renegades.
Yeah, moving that AWP over to A now is getting really scary for the Renegade side. JKS playing towards spawn. If Stanislaw can pick up this kill here, or even entry any of these A members for his side, this could be a very big upset round for compLexity, who started off on an eco.
Okay, yeah, it's eco. So here's the thing.
There you go.
You need to get things done with the weapons you have. You don't have any utility to try and do some force multiplication, and they've got a 3-for-0 trade. Jacob, JKS, and Smooya are backed out. It's an eco win.
A full... I mean, essentially we saw a couple P250s, a couple smokes on the field, and compLexity, off of that first kill onto Smooya, able to recover the AWP. Then they take down Ticket Booth. They leave Def towards lower B the entire time, Dallas, to lurk in that position, and after they get that kill on Ticket Booth, Def strikes, able to pick up yet another kill for his side, prompting the save onto Liaz and Azza. Renegades now, what a faulty round there.
Wow. The AWP that was hanging out in mid from Smooya just chilling there. No defense from anybody to watch his angles. They came up through underpass, and they just had a field day coming up there. No challenge. I think they even swung out in front of the connector, so there was nobody even there to watch that angle. You had nobody in window watching his backside for that underpass push. And once you lose that gun and you're able to put it into the hands of somebody like Shazam, that's a big whoops.
All right, a little bit of silver lining within that round is we are going to see Renegades who have built up enough cash over the last couple rounds that they actually won to get themselves a decent buy into this round here. So a good opportunity for Renegades to get back on the field, get back in compLexity's face.
And that is, that's a bit scary to me for the Renegades. That is a huge misstep from them. Smooya spots a player jumping into top mid. He's forced to fall off. He holds an angle that he will watch the chair in mid. Even your window player was backing off for a second as well. So compLexity have a couple players up in the apartments right now. You can see that. And a one-tap from Liaz. The second bullet was just the insurance policy to make sure. Smooya, we're expecting that he's jumped out. His head should peek over shortly. Azza actually gets that shot right into the dome piece. And compLexity are forced back after getting a taste of that B site. They recognize there's an AWP, there's an extra player with an AUG as well, so they'll roll the dice towards A. Ye preemptively actually peeks the site from Palace and doesn't have teammates there to trade anything.
Yeah, Ye was just looking to open up the site really before his teammates got there. Got absolutely punished by JKS. Now the final members of compLexity moving out towards the ramp. As JKS does go down, this is going to give an opportunity for the bomb to get planted. Oh. But it will be Azza showing up on scene to put a halt to that.
All right, Shazam. You need another clutch. He did this on Dust 2, 1v2, and he did it with his sidearm, which was a P250. He's got that again. But right now, he's got bomb in hand, but there are CTs crawling all around him. He'll stomp around. Smooya's been spotted on catwalk, so he baits the shot, knows that he's got a player at stairs, which is intelligent. He knows that that second AWP shot needs to be chambered once again, so he'll try and divide and conquer, but instead he can't win that next fight. Renegades pick up 14th round.
Yeah, and look at compLexity's money right now. Not really doing too well in terms of what weaponry they're going to be able to bring into this round. I do imagine pistols are what we're going to see. We do have a couple AKs on the field, but really being outgunned as we move into what could be Renegades' 15th round. If they do win it, compLexity will be struggling to have the firepower to contest against that.
And they have shown some signs of life, compLexity. It was, at first, this game was what, 10-0? Yeah, it was 10-0. And it's turned into a competitive game, especially with
all things considered.
All things considered, right? compLexity even picking up an eco round of all things.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's been an atypical match so far, but compLexity now are running out of real estate really fast. Renegades just 2 rounds away from taking the W on the series in this best of 3.
Okay, and compLexity now creating a little bit of mid-presence, not acting too aggressively on it here. They're just going to keep running that same default, sending a couple players towards lower B. We're going to see 3 members of the T side outside of that A bomb site, while it does look like Renegades will be contesting middle.
Maybe compLexity think that they can come up through this underpass again and maybe catch Smooya up there on catwalk.
They're going to boost in window here.
Are they? They've got some smokes coming down into the A site, and Ye has jumped up into the window courtesy of the boost. And he's uncontested. compLexity able to wiggle their way into some pretty advantageous positions, but Ye was looking back towards the murder hole, and Azur will shoot him in the back. Now you've got the angles on the front lines. JKS actually falls to this one, so there was a hope and a prayer on that round, but you're just outnumbered and you're outgunned at that point, and Renegades now secure 15. compLexity a ways off.
I really like that strat that came out of compLexity there. That's a really small window strat, essentially. You get this little bit of off timing where you throw the A smokes over towards the bomb site, and what that does is it pulls over your window player, and he's going to concentrate more towards connector, more towards, you know, that smoke that's going on. And that's where the lower B guys get the little window of opportunity to boost up into window and maybe catch them off. But like you mentioned, the player boosted in window just looking the wrong way. Azur does come back towards window and picks up a very easy kill. The round could have been very different if Azur goes down there.
With Jacob pushing up into mid, a little bit of same story for Stanislaw, who's done that before. Sick is up and into the site, but he actually jumps over Azur's head, maybe even stepped on the shoulders of Giants. 3 versus 3 right now. Beautiful Molotov from Smooya. That'll prevent the default plant. And he has a deagle shot that just goes sailing right past his head. He's going to be wary about that one. Let the rifles get in there and worry about those pistols and then swing it out real quick. Shazam almost gets that next kill. Def, 4 HP against 2 CT players.
Oh, man.
He needs them just perfectly lined up. And look how split they are from one another. He now needs 2 1v1s with only 7 rounds in the magazine to deal with both of these. Jacob's going to give him a 1v1.
That's one. Can he do this here, Dallas?
This is possible.
Oh, my goodness.
Smooya's got a gun, or you either hit this or you don't. Def would go, Def has a MAC-10. 3 bullets in the CZ ain't going to be good enough. This is a game of cat and mouse at this point. Who moves first for 40 seconds?
40 seconds right now. Oh, I think Def might have spotted him there. As Smooya was coming around the corner, Def now with a little bit of a fake. Smooya just trying to peer on into that site and find anything he can. He looks away, and Smooya able to catch him. And that's it, Dallas. 16-8. Renegades will take the series.
They do. And that was a really interesting last round.